whoever. So let's move on to our next topic for tonight, which is our last but one. And this is a statement by His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, the President of the Republic of Ghana. And let me show you this on screen. This is what the President said. Good. Let me fix this here. Good. This is John Mahama as reported by Joy News Online. He says that this must be the last time Mahama vows no more IMF bailouts for Ghana. This must be the last time Mahama vows no more IMF bailouts for Ghana. Now let me read the storyline to you. President John Mahama has announced that Ghana's current program with the International Monetary Fund will be the nation's final financial rescue package. He pledged to build an economy resilient enough to never again acquire such an intervention. He made these comments at the opening of the University of Ghana's 77th Annual New Year School and Conference. Speaking as the keynote speaker, President Mahama affirmed the success of the ongoing, listen carefully, let me repeat this. Speaking as a keynote speaker, President Mahama affirmed the success of the ongoing extended credit facility, but framed its upcoming conclusion as a national turning point. Quote, "We will emerge from the extended credit facility with the IMF towards the middle of this year," he stated. And it is my hope, that's the President Mahama, that this will be the very last time we will ever go for a bailout from that international monetary institution. With pointed emphasis, he added that it must be the 17th and the last time that Ghana goes for a bailout from the IMF. Now, Ebusianfo, simply put, and he said, John Mahama, our president, is telling Eyemine will say, I know he feels and believes, say, this should be the last time Ghana goes for a bailout from the IMF. Because of time, I wouldn't want to even go to why we found ourselves at IMF under MPP. Because clearly, we went to IMF because of NDC's recalcitrant behavior in Parliament. And it was so clear, we all knew. They wanted to equalize. They wanted to tell delegates, and I say electorate say, IMF, but they went to IMF, so don't vote for them, don't trust them again. And they did everything possible. A time came, anytime you wanted to discuss the budget, in Parliament, some way, somehow, the speaker decides to get running stomach. He runs away. And it happened for almost 3 months. And that delayed the passing of our financial statement for the year, I believe that was 2023 financial statement. And that caused us to have no other resort than to go to the IMF. Now we've gone there, a lot of things happened, NDC still played on the emotion of the people, and they came back, they are back in power. Now John Mahama is saying, this should be the last time. Now, beyond as in Sema John Mahama Kano, we must look at the practicality. Is it possible for Ghana not to go to the IMF again? Yes, it is possible, with the right things put in place, with effective revenue mobilization, with effective distribution of the scarce natural resources that we have, the money we get from them into the real sector. It is possible. But do you trust John Mahama's government, this current NDC government, to take those steps that will prevent, and I said that will make it possible for other governments to have sustainability of our own resources, our own money? Yes, as Honorable Kusamenu said, the reduction of wastage is also very important. All this can help our country to be on a path of sustainability and not return to the fund. But the reason why I am skeptical about what John Mahama His Excellency is saying is because, look, you cannot tell us that you are investing billions of Ghana cedi into sanitary pads. Number one, you are investing millions of Ghana cedis into Nkuko Nkiti, and you are sharing it 10,000 per constituency. However, you are going to share it there, you and I don't know. You are investing into sanitary pad, investing into Nkuko Nkiti. You are discontinuing one district, one factory. You are selling gold and making losses. You are not paying contractors. You are not paying nurses. You are not paying teachers. You are owing almost everybody. And meanwhile, you are investing your money into forest exchange. Almost all of your international reserves. Putting it because you want to create the impression, say, oh, Ato is forcing. Quen is happening to the economy. You are doing this and you think, say, we will not go back to IMF in future. You can almost certainly, unless by divine intervention, unless something happens or unless we are lucky enough to have the return of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia in 2029 January. Because God forbid, with the things John Mahama His Excellency is doing, with the way they are running this country, like a Ponzi scheme, robbing Peter to pay Paul, and enriching themselves, seizing businessmen's concessions, and giving it to their families and their friends, appointing people with fake PhDs, fake credentials, appointing foreign ministers that do not know their place in the diplomatic sector internationally, poking their noses in things that do not matter, that do not concern them. With all these things happening before us, how do you tell me, say, but for a brilliant leader in future like Dr. Bawumia, we will return to the IMF? That is my view. Ekuya, come in. 5 minutes. Na Ekuya da. Okay.
Voice. You see, some me meji joma me di no ho. Me de beji bonsam di say. Asama de bi ade to bonsam so say odi nsem ne wo heaven. Enti na Nyankopon bo ne bae. Eno na mini ho. Na evidence bi eni hu nti I would prefer to believe the devil is innocent than to believe a word that comes out of your mama.
Why?
You might be asking why I'm saying this, but you see, per Jomama Nankasa record, he has proven times without number said on Kanokre. And on no Okasa Shasrua as whole shuffle. Jomama telling us, say, oh, call IMF no. It's like Mahama na ekache so meme ba dum so emma biu. Meanwhile, him said dum so a hallmark. Na said Jomama beko IMF I say agrobe so ifra no pa. Shesenya wo bo ne bra as you were saying no. Me de bia me kasa asem we say I saw John Mahama second coming. He didn't want to succeed. Per the appointments are or started say oh yeah. And the man who said this man doesn't have anything new. He doesn't plan succeeding. Because me personally say if me the team ako baby ni akoya ade ni a failure. Me prefer say me say no kakra. I will take a better team next time so that I win. Because say blasters if work obo match and the first 11 or the koye ya buye say from ye bet naturally aka kire coach said on sa first 11 or the board the previous match. But Jomama de onu ene yetimi ko election. Eya na nkofo ka say Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia 38.2. Eya na emese mumisa say Jomama a certain president. Voice 2016 Jomama nya asen.
let me remember the actual figure. Remember?
Okay.
Kindly speak.
Check it. The gazetted figure for 2016. He was a sitting president. So John Mahama telling us to say
44% or something like that.
Okay. No, sitting president.
President, yeah.
And you know, misa ya won say John Mahama bra wo boy. Ene wo mu ton gold kura boke. Nko IMF na me no ho. IMF John beko enye me ya. Ese ahokyera wo besa de ababa behye because na no na John wabon. Ento ono IMF ne kura wo san kwa ontimi nya negotiations papa bia. Se wa wo hwe John me ye friend saying ne finance minister atoyes force ya wa wo hwe a agrobeso a efira no pa. Na no John ba ye wo de ekwa IMF baako eno public sector ye de ba ne to so ne emfa obi adwuma bo bi wukura ye mfa bi nhyem ene me no ka say John first term first year ye obi try 2025 wan finance fo ne teacher fo adwuma omo ne kwa na do ba no aye recruitment was am be hwie wo mu nyina agu fie ene omo san ye omo budget for 2026 o se won san fa adwuma ayire so a entan kopom sa afi obekọ na wie na John atabiri ye esa de ekwa IMF 84 years ya John me fa me kan bibia
John
me kan bibia se ayire so afi we bekọ na wie na John de ekwa IMF o de ebekọ enti 4 years ya wo be de oba betena so yo hu o mefa obi adwumem because no even when they go to IMF for them to even go and negotiate for a better deal they don't know how to do it into obeko IMF aba no they are always trying to cut corners. They always want the easy way out into one employee will be for the next 4 years and see name no worker say John bebu na memuo no awia kono eya na me suma Dr. Mahmoud Bamia because adwuma John ebema doctor aye no se doctor ebi anka na nadu wia no to aso a enko betu mirika but John memuo 4 years ebema doctor awia me can be and me yana Dr. Mahmoud Bamia na yana oya me mobo. To be honest with you, because I am telling you, say a memoir John Ebebuno for the next 4 years no. Enye bibi papa bia na obeye. IMF ne de eno kasa yem frama me ye betimi abete e wa ha say by the time of 4 years we be so na John de ekwa IMF or de ebeko. Because no oba ye onye na dwen say dey obeye obebo bra papa bia. Onu sikadie basabasa eno ye na yusu obedi. And nothing a bibi omo kwato bia no more inflate figures.
Yeah.
Many workers say ono enetimi kwato pad. Ono nkwa pad meaning baby o manufacture over 40 cedis. And so na de ye wo Ghana hanom ebi kura nu 15 cedis. Ose wo mpe no. Ono better 40 cedis ni akire e de akoto single pad. Enti se nipa we awaye na adwen se obedi sikai. Kwame basahye ade me say 4 years no enso IMF ne de kasa ye mframa obesan de yakọ. Me, what John Mujidi so on fire and Corona when Mujidi but me, I have never believed in him. I have never trusted a word that comes out of his mouth because or kase shenifa e so che utife benkum. So the award Kenya ward John and Nuna men IMF I am telling you say or better than 4 years you know the akojina ho. Because the level of spending the way why who this can dear. I am telling you say when push comes to shove he will resort to going back to IMF. And that is what he's going to do. Because they cannot bring any proper initiative. Bia say, yeah, banya be implemented bibia a bit near generate sika ediamaye internally. Sabio, sa adrenani adrenaline omunibi. So they cannot come up with new ways we are be generate sika bia internally. And the end result they say, yeah, be IMF. Into voice, IMF ne die ayere so abaya fi we be kwa na wie ye no. Na yekọ opa me wa ha ne ba be ka kire ye bekọ na me jo no hu e reverse psychology no ne ye no na e mo wase ye ni ma ye ho so wa start psyche ye yo
yeah
wa start psyche e reverse psychology wa start psyche ye me si ye be hu afi we nkọ na wie ni ye gina IMF enti Ghana for de na mo fast mu si de na mo refi enya jo na na oba ya wo se ware nam na ka dompi okwa oja dompi ma na na do
2015
don't we an account as 70 one or two on boy mfita duku yeah onu na onu timita say mimi nti obia enti IMF ne de reverse psychology what de ebekọ na person be test what test ne hwa de how we react enti abusuan for IMF ne de ntwan kwapọ mafia wie ye ne ekọ mo ha mo
Also, when Ikea said that a person about testing waters, no, it reminded me of Gabi Ochre, that when he was testing the waters for E-Levy or X. Hey, you are going through things, so I've got already a fire now. All right, Moses, kindly come in. Yes, you wanted to speak about it even earlier.
Yeah,
You have
sorry.
been monitoring both I know you to be someone who trades and all those things. You are looking at projections, how Ghana is doing and all. And for the sitting president of Ghana to tell you, say, he believes and is a must that under him, Ghana is going to be put on a direction that will not have to go to IMF again. What do you have to say to that? 5 minutes.
Well, for me as a citizen, I think that it's a good thing that he's making such projection. But whether we go back to IMF or not, that is going to depend on what happens in the next 3 years. If you look at the economic figures at the moment, most of the data are cooked. This government has not employed anybody.
No, wait. You said
He
most of the
has
data are cooked.
are cooked. Do you know
It
that our
has
GDP, our normal GDP has climbed to $113 billion?
per the books.
Yes, per the books. 110. That is certainly not true because you have not done anything that actually.
Moses me pacho me na if the data enye cooked and dollar that 10 cedis so more so ma more boni embafom. Are we not wondering why the prices of goods are not coming down, but dollar is 10 cedis?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Moses, go ahead.
So the data is cooked. If you look at GDP is calculated based on the total. We all know how it is calculated. Yeah. We have not seen any economic activity apart from Galamsey. Cocoa production has gone down, except that
I like that.
Cocoa prices have gone all-time high. Gold prices are at all-time high, and oil prices are down thanks to Donald Trump. Drill, baby, drill. So Mahama, hey, Candice, please. Mahama is very lucky. When they came in, they were talking about the president has come and reduced. He didn't reduce fuel prices. It's the global crude prices that have gone down, and it is because of Trump. He canceled all the climate change things, green economy, and all those things. He canceled everything and said that countries would drill, and he ordered OPEC to produce more oil.
Yeah.
And now let me check a barrel of oil today. Just give me a second.
You can talk. I'll check it for you. Okay, you can type your.
How much is a barrel of oil?
Come in, let me
check that verse. It's for check that verse.
42 US. I think. Yeah, I think 42 US gallons, about 149 liters. Come in. Let me see how much it's being sold at.
That's $42. That's less than $50. Check that of 2024, 2023, 2021, 2022, and see how much it was. It was hovering around 80 to 100.
Yeah, the benchmark now is $61. $61 per barrel. That's the benchmark.
Per barrel. Yes. So Trump has been able to bring that down. And once oil prices are down, it affects every part of the economy. Because transportation, it will affect transportation in agriculture. It will affect transportation in the services industry. It will affect transportation in the mining, in every sector of the economy. So once fuel prices are down, so thanks goodness to Donald Trump. That's number one. The other thing is, gold prices are at all-time high. If you look at the amount of gold they have sold this year, it's 107 tons, if I'm not mistaken, if I get the figure right.
Yeah.
That's the highest we have ever exported since independence in a year, single year. Now, if you look at that amount, if you multiply the 107 tons at the price of gold per ounce in 2024, in 2023, in 2022, it will amount to something like $6 billion. But we have been able to make 10 billion out of it. It's because the prices have gone up, because it used to be like 1,600 per ounce, 1,500, hovering around 1,900 and all that. Now it's 4,500 going to 6,000. So it's at all-time high. So that is an advantage for him. So he has got lucky with that. Cocoa prices have gone at the highest price ever in history. He's lucky on that. So they have been able to, get money from that. So you shouldn't look at that and think that it's going to be the same. It's not going to be like that moving forward. And if he's committed to fighting Galamsey, they are not going to get 107 tons of gold in 2026. But because they are not going to commit to it, they're not going to fight it anyway, and they will take the money, pump it into the city, to kind of get public, to win public opinion. That is something that he's looking at. But if you look at the core economic data, why is it that in 2025 first quarter, the last quarter of 2024, GDP growth was around 5.5%. And the IMF projected that it was going to go to still remain at 5 point something. Why is that it contracted to 4?
Yeah.
Why would GDP growth contract to 4 and your GDP escalated to $113 billion?
Yeah, your nominal
how did that? Those figures are not. They are not. You can't reconcile those figures. So they are cooking the data.
Finally, on the forex market, how is it looking like for this first quarter of 2026 for our currency, the CD versus vis-a-vis the dollar, and then also that could also have a repercussions on the long-term stability of our economy. Is that also?
You see, as I said, you can't reconcile the economic figures. Usually, if inflation is crashing down aggressively, you cannot have inflation crashing down from 23 to 6.2 or 6.2%, and still have your currency appreciated against the dollar at 40%.
You should have done better than that.
No, it doesn't work that way.
I'm into pharmacology, so kindly come to my level.
In layman, Candice, please stop singing loudly. Do you want to go to your room? If just in the layman terms, inflation, which is CPI, that's Consumer Price Index, is if it is going up, what happens is that it means that your currency will do what? Will strengthen because you raise interest rate to curb inflation. So how will you have inflation crashing down all the way from 23 to 6.2%, yet your currency appreciated against the dollar at 40%? So it is just a pure intervention. So once they do not have money to intervene in the market, the city is going to go back to where it's supposed to be. Look at this month, January, this year, they are pumping 1 billion. In November, they pumped 1.5 billion. The entire last year, they pumped 10 billion. You can't run an economy with that. It's unsustainable. It's purely unsustainable. They could have used that money, even if you wanted to intervene, they could have used 25% of that money to intervene in the forest market and pumped 7 billion into our reserves. We would have been having over $15 billion. That covers like 9 months of import. Instead of pumping it just to keep the currency down. Now, you have kept the currency down. We have grain. All those farmers, rice, grain, everything, they are down there. Nobody's buying.
Yeah.
Nobody's buying. And those farmers are also suffering.
Yeah, I saw a whole truck loaded of tomatoes spot recently.
It was spoiled because nobody will import from us because we have, if somebody was importing grain from Ghana at maybe 100 bags for let's say maybe $100, and you have all of a sudden move your currency, strengthen your currency 40% against the dollar, it means that the person will have to pay 40% more. That's it. That's how it is. The person will have to pay 40% more to import. So how will the person make profit? How will you explain to your customers that in a space of maybe 3 months or 6 months, you are increasing a bag of corn by 40%? They will not buy. So our farmers are suffering. So that's one of the things that they need to look at. If you over strengthen the currency to that level, then in a very short, you can do it in long term. That's fine. But that's if you are doing it organically, that's fine. But if you do it at once, like the way they have done it, just crash it at once, it's not going to work. we are going to lose exports, and that will eventually cripple the economy. You know, it was the first, Akufo-Addo was the first person to bring a positive trade balance to Ghana. You can look at our trade balance. And now, if you take gold and cocoa out, the kind of negative trade balance we'll get in 2026. So to conclude, whether we will go to IMF or not, it will depend on whether they will contract spending. Because if they are going the way they are going and they are blowing the money on government appointees, you know, their budget upon all the 50 ministers or whatever they have, or 60, they are spending more than Akufo-Addo 110 ministers. So you can look at that.
This year is even around 1 billion Ghana cedis for office of the president alone for the budget. Per what I saw, I think so. Yeah. All right.
Yes. So let me just conclude. If they're able to work on that and they don't blow money on what do we call it? The Big Push project. And you know the Big Push project, what they are doing is they are taking our legacy funds, money that we are saving for the future. So they are spending the money in a way that you know, we don't see, they are not adding significant debt to the economy, but they are also taking everything from the country. So that's what people are not seeing. Yes, they are taking our savings. Yeah. So maybe if they want to continue to spend without saving anything for the country, yes, we may not be going to the IMF in his second term.
Daddy. Right. Thank you. All right. Thank you, Moses, for that analysis, Charlie. And you remember, I'm enjoying the show so much. Ikea, Moses, now you have King Soso and SS who have joined us. I don't know why Ikea is still not. Ikea, are you an official communicator for the party? Asking you, do you have radio and TV schedules? If she doesn't, she should be arrested because
I don't really want to do radio like that.
You should. We should. We will talk about that later. All right, King Soso. Sure, no problem. King Soso, good morning. But I'm meeting why. Here in the last topic, so very important to me. The last topic is about Dr. Baumia. Okay, King Ginihua. SS, good morning.
Good morning, the voice.
Yeah, Biaboko.
It's saying.
Yes, I don't know who here.
You share or fact on fact, I check a crack.
Yeah.
When you say media, me no sign.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, analysis now. The analysis that Mr. Moses was doing, I don't agree with some of his analysis. And you see, sometimes when it gets to a certain stage, we have to look at the country as a whole, and then we can look at the progress that we can make. You see, every country you cannot develop by yourself. Foreign direct investment is very important in your country to develop your country, to help build factories, to do the exports that we are expecting. And every foreigner, before they will come and invest in your country, the main thing they look at is the strength of your currency. If your currency is not strong, nobody will come and invest. Because if I come and I invest into your country, and then I start my work and I make profit in your local currency, but after, if I want to convert the money back to an international currency, even though I've made profit, I end up making a loss. So nobody would really like to invest in such a country. So the most important thing for every country, in my view, is how to stabilize your economy in terms of the macroeconomics figures, the exchange rate, the inflation rate, and all those things that matters. So me personally, anything that will lead to the stabilization of the economy, any activity that will lead to the stabilization of the economy, I support it. You see, and we must know that whenever prices in terms of this exchange rate comes down, in every economy, there's what we call distortion. It takes time for the country to move back to an equilibrium position where the price at which people want to buy and the price at which sellers want to sell will be equal, which we call the equilibrium price. And definitely, we are not used to this kind of pitfalls. So this kind of distortion, people are not buying, prices are not coming down, even though the dollar rate has come down and all those stuff. They will find their rhythm at a particular point. That's at this time we'll experience the distortion for a while before all of us will get to a particular point where we will understand.
Let me ask you this question.
Yes.
You know, normally, I don't pick our friends on the other side on my show. But the reason I picked you is because I know you, and I knew that we are going to have an intellectual staff. Okay.
Yep.
Now, you spoke about the fact, say, we need for a foreign direct investment into our economy. And yes, sir.
Yeah.
That would help. And do you speak Chi?
Yeah, I speak Chi.
Yeah. So normally, let's do the more of the Chi. You know that me, I'm not too fluent with the Chi. That's why I speak English. Good. And so what I want you to see is say last year, 2025, no, Sika yenyaye from foreign direct investment as you are championing, no, it was less than $1 billion US. From January to June, no, Sika yenyaye no, $862 million US. Now, by the end of last year, no, how much had we pumped into the forest market? It was almost $10 billion US. And yes, sir. Does it make financial sense to spend 10 billion trying to stabilize your currency when the only amount of money that came in as investment is less than 1 billion? Does it make sense?
Okay. If you look at it that way, you will not on the surface say okay. But in economics, no, who started production, now started BBA from the initial stages, no, sometimes you even incur losses, and it is prudent or advisable to continue until you come and break even, until you come and make profit. You understand? Because who start here, it is not be like rosy as it will be, but as time goes on now, who expanding amount for age with the more recognition, amount for any more trust ever inside, you know, then you start and get what you want. So I make a try of it as I say, we are not used to this kind of appreciation. So any foreign direct and remember say in 2024, no, 2022, 2023, 2024. We did some debt exchange via amount for investing into the country. No, even conform work on musica. So this are saying
who lost their money?
If I invest money with you, okay, and we have an agreement, to take principal and interest. And at the end of the day, you cut off even the interest that you are not paying me the interest.
No.
Is the interest not an opportunity cost that I have lost?
No.
It's money. If I had not invested my money with you, and I make investing with Obifufra, okay, I would have gotten what I wanted.
SS, do you know one person, Nipa Bakuse, are all losing the principal and the interest? Ghana.
Listen to what I'm telling you.
No, I'm asking you a question.
There is this international comedian. American international comedian.
Okay. Can you point to one Ghanaian? I wouldn't him say Nipa way because of a debt exchange, no? In 2022, 2023, no, or losing any principal and any interest, Anna.
I can point even more than one.
Where this person invested?
There is this international comedian or a American Ghanaian international comedian who Cisco, we have forgotten his name. He's a popular guy, Mary Finidi. Let me use him as the international person and Sanama. But he invested
I don't know him.
$1 million into Ghana bonds.
I don't know him.
Well, you don't know him, but if I get his name, I'll tell you. He invested $1 million into Ghanaian bonds at the rate of 10%. He was supposed to take. Of course, now say he's an investor. If you don't believe what the investor is saying, and nobody has come out to challenge what he said on radio or on TV, then we don't have the point to talk about anything.
So you see.
Maybe what beside the question? Who man the voice. The voice.
I'm not interrupting you.
With you. And then I'll tell you personal. We are next personal. Personal within my own household. Okay? Within my own household. We are investing into domestic bond. Ghana.
Now we lose this cano.
We lose interest na ebe man no. Any aka che ni said.
Yeah, extending interest payment now. I say we lose. I say mean to.
How listen, if you extend the interest payment for somebody, what does it mean? Meaning agreement. Meaning agreement on how we are going to put our money. Then you come back and change the agreement. Who does that?
No, and it was not unilateral.
Who does that?
Voluntary. You see, anybody does that in financial terms.
You do that.
When we go into contracts, that's why. That is why. Good. That's all. I have to move on. I'll be mismanaging on mine. But you won't even buy platform so because I'll be mismanaging on mine. But you want to mismanage on mine. SS. I don't know about Casa. Ukasa don't say you mismanaging on mine. Anchor. Last year, you will not make the gains you made. Wow, name Sarminia. I love the conversation, but I have to move on. They're almost 12:54.
Can I continue? I
have to move on from here.
Okay, so give me 3 minutes to respond to what you just said.
3 minutes is too much. I'll give you 1 minute. Fair play reason. We'll meet on fact and continue.
Right? The voice.
1 minute.
I like you so much, but you see,
I also like
you. As you said, you don't pick other sides on your platform. Here.
By now, it can't meeting the way so
I respect that. I respect the fact that you don't pick other people on your platform, and thanks for the privilege now, dear mom.
No problem.
But it's fact on factor. Into my main respect world program, and the main reason I would be with channel, no,
sure.
So that. I wish you well, and I know it's going well for you. So, Charlie, thank you very much for picking
me up.
Thank you, my brother. I'm grateful.
We'll meet under the palm wine.
Palm tree.
Good. Yeah. So, that's my brother SS, coming from the opposing side, right? So we don't do this, but sometimes we just bring them to just beautify the show, and you can see, it goes to say, we don't insult Uber. Yes, 38%. And MPP for more, what else do they say? Pains. No. Me, I tell you, a caution now your power. Most of the time, I NDC for the mommy lift. So that is it. We agree and disagree on issues. But I believe strongly. When I ask him, he should mention one person. You say also comedian B, you say Michael Blackson, or no neka say why invest. No document to prove for it. All right. So it's good we give those opportunities, then we are able to correct something. Finally, let's go to the last topic for tonight so that we can go and rest and meet this morning on Fat Base. Ebushan for